convention and show time of the year. An international auto show is on, so hopefully a lot of people are going to that, and you're thinking about going to it as well, and a chance to brush up on your product knowledge. At some of the new offerings that are out. The really exciting part about ever attending an auto show is that you get to see all the brands that are there. You get to sit in the vehicles, you get to play with some of the features that if you were to go to an automobile dealership, you might feel a little guilty talking to a salesperson. You might be best to just share with them that you are as well an automobile salesperson. You're just doing some competitive product knowledge and learning about it. They obviously probably won't let you drive it, and of course that is the case at the auto show, but that's the advantage. Everything is under one roof, and I really believe that it gives you the passion and the excitement about the auto industry when you get a chance to take the time to go and see all the other brands. At the same time, we get some odd buyers in the showroom at this point of the year. And as I've been talking about all the way along, the fact that, the phone may not be ringing as much, the showroom doors may not be swinging quite as fast, and the email bell may not be dinging quite as frequently. When we do get a customer, sometimes we get some unusual ones and some unusual requests, and you may find yourself saying, I'm not really good with a particular type of behavior. Don't call it a personality, because it is not. Don't call it a demographic, because that doesn't really matter what age they are. Don't call it an ethnicity, because it doesn't matter where they come from. At the end of the day, it's a buyer behavior. And there are only 4 types of buyer behavior. So you really want to identify who you are working with, because this comes down to our attractive character. When we portray that character that people would like to buy from, they will tolerate our 60-point feature benefit walk-around presentation. And the wonderful thing about that, just like presenting at the auto show, is that you have that captive attention. That you know they're listening to you and they're following along and they want to hear what you have to say. And because of your product, that is wholly because of you, the attractive character. And the attractive character, meaning you, and portraying yourself in such a capacity that this individual finds it extremely difficult to say no to you, because that's what we want. Our statement of goal and objective is to help that individual find the perfect vehicle at a price that is affordable. Their statement of goal and objective, when they woke up this morning and decided whether it's this morning, this afternoon, or tonight to come in and purchase an automobile from you, their statement of goal and objective was to find the perfect vehicle that they would like to own at a price that is affordable. So you are aligned in that capacity. However, if your behavior does not align with theirs, for instance, only 2 dominants and aggressives will respect each other. 2 talkatives do a wonderful job of conversing and socializing and talking about the industry and every automobile that they've ever owned. However, in a workplace environment, 2 talkatives do not get along very well because everybody's doing the talking. You can't wait to contribute as much as they're contributing with you. And of course, the listener is excellent at listening, and we can misinterpret their politeness for being interested in what we have to say. And then finally, there is the enthusiast, the car enthusiast. When you have identified, based on the cadence of which they speak, we've talked about that before, scroll down, have a look at some of my other videos where below the x-axis will determine whether they're slow speaking, or above the x-axis, which determines they're fast speaking. And this is as it relates to you, not necessarily as it relates to the entire population. This is how you can determine who you've got. Based on that information, now you can start to identify very quickly and easily what are the hot buttons. What is the thing that is really driving them to want your product? What is the trigger? And it may not be abundantly clear what that trigger is for you, for them making the decision to purchase. So, with respect to how buyers make this decision, they've thought about it, talking research, and then seeing the car in a non-confrontational setting, which is the auto show this time of the year. That's the non-confrontational setting, right? That as much as we would like to sell automobiles at the auto show as much as some customers would certainly like to buy the very one that they are seeing and sitting in and touching at the auto show. The reality is, for most, it is a show. It's an opportunity to go and see all the brands. It's an opportunity not to have to make the decision to purchase. And there's a little bit of a black cloud that follows us around on that as salespeople. And we're not alone. I'm not talking about automobile shows. I'm talking about shows in general and salespeople at large. The black cloud that follows us around as salespeople is that we have the ability to talk people into colors that they don't necessarily like, features that they don't want, and then payments that they can't afford. And this is what a show is so fantastic for. That is not the expectation of a patron going to a show speaking to a product presenter. However, when they arrive in the showroom, or they call us on the phone, or they email in an inquiry, there is a different expectation. This is an expectation of, do you have it? How much can you sell it to me for? And essentially, when can I get it? And we don't focus enough on the when can I get it. Our greatest concern is that the customer does not see what they want, and they need to go away and think about it, and we don't have a solution for something that they would like to have in a timely fashion, and consequently we lose them. So what do we try to do is we push a deal on them. Was identifying that. He said, Bill, you know what, this time of the year, we really get some characters. It was a really nice way of him saying, we're getting some weird requests and weird behavior of people looking to purchase an automobile. And I said, you know what, that is entirely normal this time of the year, coming off of the holidays and all the money that was spent during the holidays. And the fact that it's cold, or it's dreary, or the nights have not got to the point where it's light out a little bit longer. As much as we're starting to see daylight longer, that is terrific. It really becomes a challenge for some people to close the sale with these buyers who are very convincing that they don't need to buy right now, that they're just doing their research, that they're thinking about buying in the next 6 months, and they may have an excuse that their lease is not due and that their finance contract is not up yet. But here's the thing. If you don't believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that any buyer, any driver, forget about buyers. These are buyers. These shoppers in the showroom are specifically there for one purpose. You don't sell anything other than automobiles. We sell just one thing, and that is automobiles on the showroom floor. So by the time the customer arrives at the dealership, having transcended the process, as much as they say, we're just shopping around, there's not a lot of truth to that, because we know that they know we are excellent at talking them into colors that they don't like, features they don't want, equipment that they don't need, and payments that they can't afford. Quite frankly, I believe that an automobile dealership is one of the last places, unfortunately, people go to be entertained, to look at new product, to just in general have a look at automobiles, unless it is when you are closed, unless it is when you have left the dealership. Sundays after 6 o'clock if you close at 6, after 9 o'clock if you close at 9. Look, the bright lights that we put on the lot are not there to keep the thieves from taking our product. Nothing beats a tow truck, and of course, as much as we have protectionism systems on automobiles and working at Mercedes-Benz, I remember standing on the stage doing the product presentation when we first moved to the infrared chip key that had a 128-bit encryption. And I remember saying, I was very guilty of it, saying, this car is theft-proof. And of course, it didn't take very long for those alternate minds to figure out how to do so.